Hey, what's happening? Nick Martinez, the Keto Dad here, and the Instapot has been all the craze these days. You've seen people get them left and right on Facebook. Black Friday had huge sales. That's when we happened to get ours. But I wanted to take a few minutes and just talk a little bit about the Instapot. Like, why would you get one? What's the value behind it? How is it different from a crock pot? I didn't know anything about it until a couple weeks ago, and I've spent a little bit of time reading the manuals. And I've learned just kind of basically how it works and why. But essentially, this is your grandma's old pressure cooker. Except it's it's like a technology version, right? My grandma, who was Cuban, used to have a pressure cooker. She used to cook black beans on the pressure cooker. And I remember the little thing would spin around like this, and it would make this weird noise as a little bit of steam escaped. But this is like that on steroids. So it's kind of fun. It has a few different parts. So I'm going to take it apart here. You can kind of look inside of it. You'll see it's really just a big kind of, I don't know if you call that cast iron or what. It's got a whole bunch of buttons and stuff up here. It's got a nice non-stick pan. And when you put this in here, you've got your lid. Now your lid inside here has a seal. This is one of those parts that you can actually buy some replacements for in case it gets old or wears out. That's probably the weakest link in this whole process. Right here you have your pressure relief. Which equates to over here, which is kind of fun. So basically you're gonna pick your recipe. Now they have tons of great recipes in here that comes with a cookbook, but essentially you can make your own. You can just choose a meat and you can do it. So tonight we're actually gonna make chicken. What we're gonna do is take our chicken, it's already kind of marinated. We might add like a quarter cup or a tablespoon of water or something just to give it a little bit of liquid.
At least a half cup of water.
Just at least a half cup of water, I guess, is what you're supposed to add. I missed that in the instructions. Now, the only other thing I'll show you here is like a condensation overflow. It's a little, you can actually take it off and empty it. It hasn't filled up for us that much, but just something to be aware of. So what you're gonna do is put your meat, put whatever you're doing in there, and everything that you're making is gonna have a little more specifics to it. And usually the instructions will tell you. And then you're gonna come over here and you're gonna choose what you wanna do. If it's one of these things, you're just gonna press the button and you're basically gonna hit start. But let's say we're gonna do meat. We're gonna hit meat. And then it says 10 minutes. That's just kind of that's default. Now you can add or you can subtract from that by going like this, just depending on what the recipe calls for. And if you don't know, just Google it or check out the cookbook. It's got great ideas. Then it has other things, like we did some eggs the other day. You can hit eggs and it literally will tell you like this. It'll tell you 5 minutes. It takes a little bit of time for it to pressurize and then you're good to go. Now I haven't tried making a cake in here. That's gonna be fun, or a chili or a stew. There is this one saute here. Uh-oh, it's getting started. I'm gonna cancel it. Where's the cancel button? Right here. Saute actually allows you to brown like meat. Like if you've got like a steak that you're cooking in here or some sort of beef, you can actually put it in there. It cooks it a little bit and then like almost sears it. And then you do the pressure cooking and it allows you to go. Now, if you want to do this as a slow cooker, you can do that as well. The other thing that we have up here, is our sealer. So this right here allows you to vent or it allows it to be sealed. So it's kind of loose, but what will happen is it will pressurize and then it will keep the pressure inside of there. When you're done, if you just go like this, all of a sudden, all of the steam comes out of this hole. It's like a choo-choo train. It's pretty amazing. It just, and then you also have this little thing right here, which is basically like a plug that it's kind of a pressure relief valve as well. So those are some of the pieces of your Instapot. Kind of fun, right? Would love to hear what your favorite Instant Pot recipe is. Post it in the comments below. We've made like 4 or 5 things. But I'd love some good ideas or things that you've tried already and that you think are awesome, because it is a pretty simple thing. Now, one of the misconceptions is I thought, okay, it's gonna be like an absolute instant. Oh, it says 10 minutes. It's only gonna take me 10 minutes to make this dinner. What they don't calculate into that is the time that it takes for the thing to basically heat up and pressurize. Because if it says 10 minutes, it's actually been more like 20 or 25 by the time it's done. And then when it's done, some of them have you release the pressure right away, and some of them just have you let it sit for another 10 minutes and cook in that pressure as it gradually releases. So it's not necessarily as instant as it may seem. However, it's definitely more instant than like 4 or 8 hours in a crock pot. So, I mean, we're talking, with this, it's probably an hour meal or a 40-minute meal. The nice thing is once it's in and once it's going, your hands off, right? You can go do other things. You can go cut up whatever you're making for your salad, or you can really kind of work on whatever it is you're working on. Oh, look at that. And you have a little, you can put your top on there so it holds in real nice. I have noticed that it cleans up real good. It's not a big pain in the butt. We haven't had a lot of stuff stick to this like you do in a crock pot sometimes. And I will say that the food that's come out of here has been fantastic. So with that, you know, this is just another way to keep it simple and keep it fun. And you can make a lot of different keto recipes with this Instapot. And I'm looking forward to using it more and still doing a lot of good traditional cooking as well. With that, have an awesome day. Remember, keep it simple, keep it keto, keep it fun. We'll talk to you soon.